Manchester United have got through to the FA Cup final, beating Brighton on penalties. I think it was 7-6. It was 7-6 something in the end. A lot of penalties there, good penalties that were scored. Now that was an absolute draining game for both sets of supporters and players there, going all that distance, 0-0. Jesus, there was chances in this game. There was a lot of bad moments in this game for both sets of players to potentially take the lead in this game, and it's been squandered. And to be honest, I was thinking towards the end of this game that Manchester City, on the basis of looking at that, wouldn't be concerned which side they got in the final. Both teams, I mean, Brighton were losing a lot of balls, were bad touches, bad moments to maybe score a goal. I mean, they had Danny Welbeck up front, who's just not really good enough, to be honest. Squandered a good header. I think if they'd had Evan Ferguson up front, I think that they would probably have won this game, to be honest. You never know, but they really do miss him up front. I think he's a lot better than Danny Welbeck, I really do. Gets the goals in and around the box. And one where they pulled it back and Welbeck wasn't in the right position, there was that one. So there was a number of chances for both teams to score, but neither side have managed to break the deadlock in this game. I mean, Manchester United overall, I think it was poor from Manchester United again, not good enough at the standard that Manchester United should be, and you look at that by the fact that pretty much everyone had Brighton as favourites going into this tie. It shows you how far Manchester United have fallen, and I think that was more on the defensive side of it. But Manchester United's defensive side actually coped fairly well. Lindelof had a good game today. Wan-Bissaka had a very good game today. Shaw didn't do anything really wrong. So it wasn't really. I mean, going forward for both teams were pretty poor, to be honest. I know Manchester United have a lot more quality in their ranks than that of, in my opinion, that of Brighton, but both teams just seemed to lack quality up front. Really did. I mean, Anthony was. I mean, had a couple of shit shots, but I mean, are we ever going to see the players like Anthony and Sancho really step up to the plate? I mean, Martial as well, very poor. Are these three players ever going to step up real to the plate, including Rashford as well? Rashford was poor as well. Step up to the plate when it really matters in big moments, situations like this. I remember in the semi-final against Everton, Martial did step up to the plate in that one, fair play under Van Gaal. But time and time again, these players are not stepping up to the plate when it really matters. But we've got through in the end in that dramatic penalty shootout. I mean, I was just hoping for a winner, maybe an extra time when Rashford hit one just wide. I mean, I was just praying that one went in because I wasn't confident that Manchester United were going to get through on penalties. We've been horrendous in penalties with De Gea in net. I mean, he barely ever saves penalties as it is being shootouts. His penalty record has been abysmal. He hasn't saved a single penalty. He didn't save a single one in that last one against Villarreal a couple of years, was it 2 or 3 seasons ago, whenever it was, and we lost it. Again, this penalty shootout, he hasn't, but Solly March has sadly for him has missed that penalty. I'm obviously pleased he's missed, but I feel for the guy. He's blasted it over the bar, and that must be the worst feeling in the world. I mean, years ago we used to replay these games, and the fact that this game there was no goals in it, and I mean, it could have gone either way in the end. I think that they were the better team, but it could have gone either way, this game. It really could have done, and a replay wouldn't have been unjustified on the basis of that. I mean, it wasn't a one-sided affair or anything, and Manchester United thoroughly deserved to win this. It wasn't at all like that, and it's very harsh going to a penalty shootout. But the number of games you have to play in a season, you can't keep replaying these, all the games. You just can't keep replaying them, and it is what it is. It's a harsh reality, penalty shootouts. I've never liked penalty shootouts. But Lindelof banging in the winner, Sabitzer almost missing his penalty. There were some other penalties I was nervous about. Sancho, because his poor form recently, and he missed one was in the Euros. It is a concern when everyone steps up. I was almost resigned to the fact Manchester United were going to lose that penalty shootout. I really was, and we're through. It's a massive game against Man City next. I mean, how we're through to the FA Cup final, I'm not really sure, because you look at the games we've played lately. West Ham, we were terrible in that game for periods. We were terrible against Fulham for periods in that game. And we got fortunate in them games. An own goal against West Ham, a couple of sending offs in the game against Fulham. And then today we got the luck of the the roll of the dice in the penalty shootout. So we're very fortunate to be in this final. But we are in this final. There's 2 teams in it. There's a chance that Manchester United can win this final. There is a slim chance. We are going to go in as massive underdogs for this final, but you do never know. It is what it is. It's cup competition. You don't have to. Is the onus on Manchester United? Is it written in the stars that Manchester United are now going to go on and win this? I don't know. But the fact that we've played so poor in previous rounds, it would just be fitting that Manchester United now go and put on a top display against Man City in a final and go and fucking win it, when we've scraped through against all these other teams that we should have been, well, the other 2 teams, maybe not today, this was a more even game, the other 2 teams at home we should have been beaten anyway, and we've got very fortunate to get through to this final, and we just got to enjoy the final and hope that Manchester United can somehow, by hook or by crook, win it. I don't think we will, but you never know in football. A one-off final, we will be there to see that Manchester United will be there to try and lift that trophy, and if Manchester United could lift this trophy, how bad we have been lately, I feel, I would say it would be a massive successful season for Manchester United if we won 2 trophies. It really would. With the fact that Manchester United have been dog shit, in my opinion, at large parts of this season, to win 2 trophies would be phenomenal the way we played. You would have bit your hand off for that at the start of the season, even with the fixtures that Manchester United have had in the 2 cup competitions up till now. You would just bite your hand off to have them 2 trophies. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on today's game. I think probably Wan-Bissaka was probably man of the match. He had a good game. I'll give it to him, but there wasn't really too many massive stand-up players. Certainly in the attacking areas, it was pretty flawed. I know some people thought Bruno Fernandes was great, but I think Wan-Bissaka for me. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you're watching on Facebook, please do hit the share button, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.